Welcome, Coach. Today, we are going to deconstruct the butterfly stroke. It's arguably the toughest, but also the most rewarding stroke to teach. We're going to approach this like an architect, building it perfectly, right from the ground up. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. Butterfly isn't about muscling your way through the water. It's a really beautiful, super complex dance between raw power and perfect timing. So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the blueprints. What makes butterfly? Well, butterfly. Then, we'll lay the foundation with the body and kick. After that, we build the superstructure, the arms. Then we integrate everything with timing and breathing. And finally, we'll head into the lab for some practical drills and corrections. Okay, let's dive right in. Before we can even think about coaching this stroke, we all need to be on the same page about the architectural plans. So, what are the absolute core characteristics of butterfly? Think of these as the 5 unbreakable laws of butterfly. It's fast, sure, but it costs a ton of energy. And here's the big one. It's a short axis stroke. Unlike freestyle, the body moves up and down, not side to side. That means drag is constantly changing. Because of all that, timing isn't just important, it's everything. All right, time to lay the foundation. A swimmer can have the strongest arms on the planet, but if their body line and kick are weak, the whole thing just falls apart. This is the absolute engine room of the stroke. Okay, this right here is probably the most important concept we have to get right. So many young swimmers think the kick comes from the knees. It doesn't. True butterfly undulation is this beautiful wave-like motion that starts with a press of the chest, flows right through the hips, and explodes at the feet. So, let's break down the kick. There are 2 of them, but they do different jobs. The first kick, when the hands enter the water, that's for stability. It sets the anchor so the pole has something to work against. The second kick, as the hands are finishing, that's the power kick. That's what drives the swimmer forward and gets those hips up for a clean recovery. With a solid foundation of undulation and a powerful kick, now we can start building the superstructure. We're talking about the arm pull. This is how all that momentum we generated from the core gets translated into real forward speed. This sequence is all about gradual acceleration. The entry is patient and quiet. The catch is about getting a grip on the water. But that pull and push phase, that's where you see a massive acceleration back towards the hips. So the big takeaway here is start patient, but finish fast. Now, let's talk about EVF, early vertical forearm. Honestly, this is a total game changer. It's what separates the good butterflyers from the truly great ones. Instead of just pulling with their hand, EVF turns the entire forearm into one giant paddle. It's the difference between scooping water and really grabbing a hold of it. Okay, this is where we conduct the symphony. We've got the foundation, we've got the superstructure. Now we have to connect it all together with perfect timing and breathing. This is what creates that seamless, powerful motion. The entire rhythm of this stroke hinges on what you see right here. Kick number 1 stabilizes everything for the pull. Kick number 2 gives that power surge to get the hips up and help the arms recover. Getting this kick-pull-kick sequence right, well, it's everything. Breathing. This is so often what breaks a great-looking butterfly. The key is to breathe forward, not up. The chin should just skim the surface of the water as the pull naturally lifts the shoulders. And for most swimmers, breathing every single stroke is a total efficiency killer. It just destroys their body line and rhythm. All right, now for the really practical stuff, the lab. As coaches, our job is to be detectives, diagnose the problem, and prescribe the cure. So let's look at the most common mistakes and the exact drills we can use to fix them. But first, before we fix anything, we need to understand why technique is so critical. This little formula here says that power is proportional to velocity cubed. What does that mean in plain English? It means a tiny little increase in speed requires a massive increase in power. It's the ultimate proof that smart technique will be brute force every single time. The classic bicycle kick. You see it all the time. It happens when swimmers use their quads instead of their hips and core. The SLOB drill, streamline on back, is the perfect way to spot this. If you see their knees popping up and breaking the surface, you've found the problem. You want to see the water boil over their feet, not their knees. This is the exact phrase your swimmer needs to hear. Soft knees tells them to stop actively bending at the knee, and kick from the hips shifts their focus to where the power really comes from, their core. When a swimmer lifts their head way up high to breathe, their hips just sink like a rock. It's like slamming on the brakes. The best way to fix this? give them a snorkel. It takes breathing completely out of the equation and lets them feel what that correct, streamlined body position is supposed to feel like. This is the cue for the breath. It encourages them to breathe forward, not up. They should feel like they're just barely sneaking a breath over the surface. This keeps that body line flat, efficient, and fast. Okay, poor timing is probably the most common problem you'll see. The 3 kicks, 1 pull drill is fantastic for this. It really slows the whole stroke down and forces the swimmer to consciously think about timing their kicks with the hand entry and exit. This is the mantra. Seriously, have your swimmers say it over and over in their heads while they swim. Kick on entry, pull, kick on exit. It turns this really complex rhythm into a simple little chant that builds the right habit. So, we've taken the entire stroke apart and put it back together again. What are the keystones? What are those fundamental things that hold this entire beautiful structure together? These 4 keys they summarize our whole approach. It all begins with that perfect undulation. Then we sync that powerful wave to the arms with precise timing. We perfect these pieces with focused, isolated drills. And maybe most importantly, we have to be patient. Butterfly is a marathon of learning, not a sprint. With these tools, you are the architect. You've got the blueprint, you've got the materials, and you've got the diagnostic tools. Your swimmers have the potential. So the only question left is, which one of these keys will you use to unlock it tomorrow? Good luck.